Hey friends, welcome back to another Wellness Wednesday on the porch. In this video, I wanted to give you a quick update on where I am at with my iron infusion. And then after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the stuff that I've been learning about iron absorption and how you can enhance it, as well as things you can do that will hinder iron absorption. Just kind of regurgitating the things that I am learning. Oftentimes when you're trying to learn something yourself, it is helpful to explain it to somebody else. So that's kind of what I'm doing in this video. As always, what I say is never supposed to be considered medical advice. I'm just sharing my journey and what I am learning and going through. So first off, my update on where I am at. After a bunch of back and forth with my doctor and me and the clinic where I'm going to be getting the infusion, everyone has all the information that they need. All the decisions have been made about what exactly I'm getting and all of that. And I finally have the infusion scheduled. It is scheduled for this coming Tuesday, the 26th. So hopefully, as long as everything goes as planned, on my next Wellness Wednesday, I will be able to share about the infusion and how that all went. So now on to just what I have been learning about iron absorption and what hinders iron absorption. First off, it's important to understand that not all of the iron that you eat in food or through supplements gets absorbed by your body. Actually, it's surprising how little of it does get absorbed by your body or can get absorbed by your body. And very basically, there are two types of iron. There's heme iron and there is non-heme iron. Heme iron comes from animal products. It's the highest in red meat. Meat and animal products, they have some non-heme iron in them as well, but it's primarily heme iron. And up to 40% of the heme iron you consume, either in food or in supplements, can be absorbed by your body. And that might not seem like a lot, but for non-heme iron, the iron that is found primarily in plant foods, only 2 to 5% of non-heme iron is absorbed by the body. So all of a sudden that up to 40% number sounds really, really good. So first off, we'll talk about non-heme iron as far as things that hinder absorption. And I do want to throw in here that I have gotten this information from a variety of places, but the main place that I have found good information about iron absorption and such is from Crystal Moore. She's here on YouTube and she has a website. I've talked about her stuff before, but such a wealth of information. I've learned a ton from reading her stuff. And so the information that I'm going to share right now is mostly a regurgitation of what she has already shared really eloquently and really succinctly in like her iron repair manual. And then she also has YouTube videos where she shares all this info as well. So I will put all of her info down below. Definitely go check out her website and download that iron repair manual, and you'll have all of the info right there in a really nice package. So now we can talk about the list of things that hinder non-heme iron absorption. And the non-heme, again, is the iron that comes mostly from plant foods. First off, any medication that reduces your stomach acid, like antacids, is going to hinder your iron absorption because for non-heme iron, your body needs an acidic environment in order to absorb it. So if you're taking Tums or anything like that, that's going to really hinder your absorption. Also, a lot of compounds that are found in plants can hinder non-heme iron absorption, things like phytates, oxalates, and even fiber. So even though a lot of plant foods might have a lot of non-heme iron in them, they also contain a lot of things that hinder the absorption of that iron. So it's kind of like you can't win. And I think this is probably a big reason that people have a lot of success going 100% carnivore, or at least certain people have a lot of success going 100% carnivore, because if you're struggling with absorbing iron or lots of other nutrients, just cutting out all of those things that hinder the absorption that are found in all these healthy plants can just enhance your ability to absorb iron and other nutrients. And then at the same time, you're taking away those things that are hindering the absorption, and you're usually adding in more of the very nutrient dense meat, especially red meat. And if you're someone that struggles with absorbing things, it can be like you're getting a double dose of all these good things and you're taking away what is hindering your absorption of them. A couple other compounds that are found in plants that can actually bind to non-heme iron and cause it to not be absorbable is tannins, and polyphenols. And those things are found in a variety of plants, but the most notable ones are coffee, tea, and chocolate. But don't forget, I'm talking about non-heme iron absorption right now. And the good news is that those things do not hinder heme iron absorption, but I'll talk about that in just a second. The last thing that I'll mention that can hinder non-heme iron absorption is actually eggs. They contain something called phosphoprotein, and it can bind to the iron and make it not absorbable. Again, don't forget, we're only talking about non-heme iron right now. So we've talked about a bunch of things that can hinder non-heme iron absorption. There are a few tricks that you can use and things that you can use to enhance non-heme iron absorption as well. First off is vitamin C. Like I mentioned in the other list, you need an acidic environment to absorb non-heme iron. So having the vitamin C and citric acid and, lemon juice or bell peppers is a good source. Different things like that with your non-heme iron supplements or foods containing non-heme iron that can help your body absorb that non-heme iron. Pairing your non-heme iron foods with your heme iron, so having some meat along with your either non-heme iron supplements or non-heme iron containing foods can help your body to actually absorb the non-heme iron better. Also, very interestingly, collagen seems to enhance non-heme iron absorption as well. So pairing your non-heme iron with, either bone broth or with just a collagen supplement can really help. And then the last trick with enhancing absorption of non-heme iron is just timing, where if you want to have a cup of coffee or chocolate or something like that, just have it away from your non-heme iron supplements or a meal that you really want to absorb the non-heme iron from. All right, now let's talk about heme iron, and I will go through the list of things that hinder heme iron absorption and then things that can help improve heme iron absorption. And there's actually only one thing on each of those lists. As far as things that hinder heme iron absorption, the only thing is calcium. And this actually is something that also hinders non-heme iron absorption as well. I forgot to put that one on the list. Basically, iron and calcium can compete for the same absorption site. So you just want to make sure that you're not like taking a calcium supplement right at the same time as you're taking an iron supplement. And the rule of thumb is that if you're wanting to enhance the non-heme iron absorption, don't have more than 150 milligrams of calcium. If you're wanting to not hinder the heme iron absorption, don't have more than 300 milligrams of calcium. So you can still have a little bit of cheese or a little bit of cream or something like that. That's not going to be very much calcium. You just wouldn't want to take a big dose of a calcium supplement at the same time. So calcium is the only thing on the list of items that hinder heme iron absorption. On the list of things that improve heme iron absorption, the only one is collagen, for the same reasons that I mentioned about the non-heme iron. There are just certain amino acids in collagen that help with absorption: histidine, isoleucine, and lysine. So having just a collagen supplement when you take your heme iron supplement or eat food that has heme iron in it, you could do bone broth like soups. That would be a great thing to do. And actually, I heard Crystal Moore say that since coffee doesn't hinder heme iron absorption, she has her heme iron supplement and then has it with coffee with collagen in her coffee. And the collagen helps the absorption, and then the coffee doesn't hinder because it's a heme iron supplement. So that is the info that I have gleaned so far. I thought it was very helpful to understand the difference between the heme iron and the non-heme iron, and knowing which things hinder and which things help both just helps me to make better choices about my meal timing, when I have my coffee. And one thing that I'm going to be more proactive about in my diet is just having some purely carnivore meals, just cutting out anything that has any of those plant compounds that might hinder the absorption, just to give my body the best chance possible at absorbing as much iron as possible. Obviously, I have issues with how much iron I am able to absorb, and I'm going to be exploring that a lot more in the future after the infusion and getting that all taken care of. We'll try to figure out what's going on with my gut that is hindering me from absorbing the iron, but I feel like I just need to do as much as I can now. And I think incorporating a carnivore meal or two a day will be really helpful. Just cutting out all of those things that might be hindering even the tiniest little amount, keeping my coffee, away from my meals, just different things like that. Having that info has been helpful in just making little tweaks to help enhance my absorption. So that's it for this Wellness Wednesday. I will be back for another Wellness Wednesday next week. Hopefully, if everything goes as it's supposed to, I will have had my infusion already. If I'm able to, I might try to take some video on that day. I don't know how much video I'd be able to take during the process and stuff, but it's supposed to be like a 2 to 4 hour long process. So I might be able to pull out my camera and chat or show you what's going on. We'll just see how it goes. And, but by my next Wellness Wednesday, I should have some more info to share on that. Hope you guys are all doing great, and I will see you again in the next video.